And now it's time to pass!
Hey guys, welcome back to another Dragon Ball Legends episode. Hope you guys are doing well. It's been almost 2 weeks since I've made a video, and the reason for that is I'm working really hard right now and I don't always have time to make videos. But once I do have free time, I will be up and running with a lot more videos. But nevertheless, let me get straight to the point. I want to talk about the new updates coming to Dragon Ball Legends in terms of PvP. So we got this new mode called Rating Match Proud, and the pre-season is going to start probably at the end of Feb after this PvP season, and going into March I would assume. And most likely we're going to be getting about 3 pre-seasons before we get an actual season. Toshi also mentioned that this will be more for special occasions, so you're looking at like anniversary, battle hour, Legends Festival, maybe 1 or 2 campaigns apart from that. And at the same time, I would assume that the rewards are really good for this specific mode. Now, they didn't get into what the rewards are, but I would assume that it's going to be double the Chrono Crystals, maybe double Legends Limited Z Power, something to that extent, and a title, and maybe a few PvP messages. So that's what I would get from this, depending on how they make it. But nevertheless, this new rating match is basically a PvP rule that has been implemented. And this rule is where you can have 3 matches against one opponent, depending on whether that opponent wants to have a rematch with you or a revenge match in this case. And if they do accept that, then you're going to have what they call a pride match. Your pride is going to be on the line and you're going to settle the score best out of 3. So that's what it's about. Now, is this a good thing? I think it is. It's going to be really refreshing because this mode is going to be working on a few rules. So for example, the first rule is you're going to have to make a team, and within that team you'll have 6 characters. So you'll be able to use any of those 6 characters in the first match. And just say you lose that first match, right? And you want to get some revenge and you say, you know what, let's have another match. And you go into your second match. Whatever characters is left as your bench characters, you can use them in the second match, and your opponent is forced to do the same thing unless they set up their team in such a way where they have still OP units in the bench to use. Then you're probably gonna lose. But if they don't do that, then yeah, you have a second chance at gaining the upper hand. And if you do win the second match, then your opponent is going to have the opportunity to have a third match with you, and in the third match it will basically be where you put your pride on the line, and whoever wins that gets the RP. Now this might take quite long in PvP. I feel like this season is going to be really slow. That's one of the downsides of this, because of how long each match can be. It's 3 minutes a match. You're looking at 9 minutes in total, considering if you and your opponent decide to continue fighting. And let's just say the first match you win and the second match your opponent wins, then you guys are forced to do a third match to get an actual winner. So yeah, that's one downside of what I see. It's going to be long, the RP is going to be quite low, so it might be difficult to stay up to point unless they have a new system for this. We will have to wait and see. So I can't talk too much on that until I see what exactly the devs have planned for this. But nevertheless, as you can see on the screen right now, a special rating match season where you fight the first 2 sets against the same player. So basically, it's a best of 3 if you guys die. Utilize all 6 members of your party between rounds 1 and 2. And once that's done, a winner will be chosen. Now, it is a pre-season, so it will still be a bit buggy when it comes out. So I'm not going to bash them just yet. I would have to make another video on this when we do get this PvP season to see exactly what they're cooking in that stove. So that's the one thing. Then the other thing is, once round 1 and 2 is done, you will have a final round like I was talking about. And in the final round, you can only choose 1 battle member from the first and second round. And those 2 battle members will be what you use in round 3. So let's just say in the first round, you had Spirit Bomb Goku, right, as a battle member. In round 2, you had Legends Limited 17. You can use those 2 as well as another unit to use to make a new team. And that can be your final team for the final battle. So if you're fighting someone and you lost the first match, but you won the second match, in your final match, you can use those units in your first match, and one of those units can come into the team. as well as 2 units from your second team. And yeah, you can make a new team just like that. So that's exactly what they were trying to implement here. It's going to be a lot of fun, definitely. So if I had to list the advantages of this, we got diversity, right? Because now you have to think of how to make your team. You can't just buff your main guys. You can't just buff the leader slot, because if you win the first match and your opponent wins the second match, you're forced to use your other units. And if your units are Zenkais that are outdated, you're not going to have a good time. So now you're forced to maybe use the Beast Gohan and maybe keep like a Legends Limited Super 17 for the second round, just in case, so that he might own it. Or keep a Vegito Blue or Ultra Gogeta Blue or something like that. So you will have to definitely play around with your team to make sure that it works out. Because if you don't, you will most likely lose. Now, coming back to the PvP system, I think it's good that it can only be done up to 5 times a day, because if it was more than that, it would become tedious and it'll be too long. So having to do this 5 times a day is okay, because then it's only going to cost you about half an hour if you actually play this out. But it also allows you to go back to normal PvP if you don't like this mode. So another thing to look at is how the leaderboard is. So you'll see round 1, you get a win or lose, and then it'll give your opponent opportunity to either accept a rematch, or they will just forfeit and it's done. If your opponent does accept a rematch, and let's say you play round 2 and you win round 2, then they will get an opportunity to either accept or they can decline it. And once that's done and they do accept it, you'll go to what they call a Battle of Pride. And that's basically what this is all about, guys. So yeah, this was the actual reveal. It's not a lot to talk about. I don't want to make this video too long for no reason. But the main thing that you need to take away from this is it is new. The rewards might not be as great yet, but it's going to give you a new opportunity to enjoy PvP with units you haven't used in a very long time. So yeah, I hope you guys are going to crack on this when it comes out. I will make another video in regards to this closer to the time when it reveals, so we can look into it. I'm also going to make a video as well on the guild raid that we're going to get. It's 60 versus 60. It's going to be a lot of fun, and yeah, I hope you guys are looking forward to those videos coming sometime towards the end of this month. As always, thank you so much for listening and watching my videos. I do always appreciate that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Cheers.